Congressman Adam Kinzinger serves on the House Foreign Affairs Committee and joins us now live. Adam, good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
So, Congressman, Iran is asking other parties in the deal, France, Germany, Britain, Russia, and China, to make up the difference in oil sales and safeguard trade, right?
Yeah, but look, our European friends are going to have to make a decision. Are you going to ally with one quarter of the world's economy, which is the United States, an economy and a nation that protects the world's shipping and trade lanes with our Navy, versus an economy that has fast boats for the sole purpose of shutting down the Persian Gulf, one that works on stabilization of the Middle East, that strikes areas when chemical weapons are used violating world order, world rules, or a nation like Iran that has its Iranian Revolutionary Guard in Syria, that's given 150,000 rockets to Hezbollah to go after Israel, that's killed a quarter of American troops in Iraq when we were there, and everything else. So the world does have a decision to make.
Well, and it seems like a clear choice, Congressman, but everything we've heard from all these other nations so far is that they haven't made a decision, and they almost seem like they're leaning towards siding with Iran so far.
Yeah, I certainly hope that's not the case, and I don't think it will be. I think, look, the initial sting, we all know the Europeans, they're our friends, and we love them to death, but they're not really good at leading in world issues. They're not really the first to take on the account. They always end up following begrudgingly the United States and then look back and realize that was the right thing to do. And so right now you have some of their businesses that are pretty upset because they had been investing in doing business with a terrible regime, and now they realize they have to choose between that regime or the United States of America. So they're going to pout a little bit. They're going to be upset. But when it's all done, I think we're going to look back. They will have made the right decision, and I think the world will be a much safer place as a result of this.
Well, Iran says that the U.S. withdrawal from this pact is illegal and discredits international law. What say you?
Well, I mean, this is Iran talking about international law. This is Iran that steps up terrorist groups, that goes after our friends in Israel, that backs a regime that kills innocent people, including 50,000 children, Bashar al-Assad. So in terms of international law, I'm not sure Iran is the expert in that. The United States has every right to make a decision on our foreign policy. The president made a decision that this Iran nuclear deal was not in our best interest. And by the way, Congress never ratified this because the prior president, Mr. Obama, did not want to give it to Congress because he knew it would fail. So it is not a binding deal. And the President Trump, made a decision in the best interest of the United States.
Well, and he talked about this extensively during the campaign. It was a promise of his that he would kill this nuke deal. He said it was a bad deal from day one and that he would spike it, and he did. I'm wondering if you think, though, that this might have a negative effect as far as accelerating Iran's nuclear program. How close are they?
Well, they're close, but I don't think it will. The difference between this and North Korea, there is a military option in North Korea, but it's kind of unthinkable. In Iran, there is a military option. They don't have the ability to unleash hell on their neighbors like North Korea would in case of an attack. So we have a military option. We hope to never use it. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is Iran knows that they cannot sprint to a nuclear deal. But what we have to do is look at Iran's behavior in the region prior to this deal and post this deal. Prior to this deal, they didn't really have a major presence in Syria. We didn't see all the things in Yemen going on. After this deal, they had all this wealth that they've been able to use to try to create a hegemony in the Middle East. It's actually united our allies, but it's destabilized a lot of the region. So what we want to do is take these arrows, put them back in the quiver, and negotiate a broader deal that's not just nukes, but also that is Iran's behavior in the region.
Well, the president's tough tactics seem to work with North Korea, and I guess the big question here is, will it work with Iran?
Well, I don't know if Iran will ever say it worked. They're never going to come out and say your tough tactics are working. But the real view will be, do they come back to the table eventually? It'll take some time. Let's be very clear about that. And do they sprint to nuclear weapons? I do not think you'll see the regime sprint to a nuclear weapon because they know, even if the president doesn't say it, that we have a military option as well as Israel has a military option to prevent them from ever getting there in the first place.
Congressman Adam Kinzinger, we appreciate your time this morning.
Anytime. You bet.